Right now at 5:30, we are tracking the investigation into Lexington's latest shooting, the 5th shooting in the city in just 3 days. And the people accused of kidnapping and assaulting a Breathitt County woman tell us they're innocent. We'll have more from their jailhouse interview. And state police may have a breakthrough in their search for 2 convicted killers who escaped a maximum security prison.
Tracking, alerting, protecting. This is WKYT This Morning.
Good morning and welcome into you. I'm Rebecca Smith. Hope you're having a great start to your Tuesday. Let's get a look at what the weather has in store for us today. We're hearing it's going to be pretty nice.
Yeah, it'll be pretty nice. I mean, we're actually looking outside and not seeing anything go on. We just did see from the National Weather Service a dense fog advisory put into place. No rain out there. Just wanted to show you that. But this dense fog advisory is down toward the southwest, not in the southeast. Now, southeastern zones, I have seen some of those sky cams for the valley areas picking up on some fog. But here's your most dense fog at this moment. A little bit of that clearing of the skies might help that out. Danville off into the Cumberland region, and you work your way into Dare County, and then back towards 65. That's where we're going to be seeing the most dense fog. There you are, current temperatures, upper 50s northbound, upper 60s southbound. Actually, it doesn't feel that bad. Hey, really, anywhere you go. 82 by the afternoon. We'll have a mixture of sun and clouds. Today's your better day in the forecast. You better enjoy it because the next few days is pool, lake, and river weather, and I'll show you what I mean by that coming up in a few minutes.
Well, that sounds great. New this morning, we're tracking a crime alert in Lexington right now. Police say a man has life-threatening injuries after someone shot him in his own bed. This marks the 5th shooting in town in just 3 days. We have team coverage of this. WKYT's Mark Barber live from police headquarters with the latest developments. Mark, what are the latest details we've gotten from police? Quite a violent night.
Good morning, Rebecca. In the past hour, we've learned from police that the man was shot up to 4 times while he was sleeping next to his wife. That man is now here at UK Hospital in critical condition. Officers say that the man was shot around 2 a.m. when someone walked up to his house on Gerald Drive, stood outside his bedroom window, and opened fire. Officers tell us that his wife was not hit. According to police, her son, a young adult, was also in a bedroom of the home, and he was nearly killed. Investigators tell us that the shooter ran up to his window, too, and fired at him several times while he was watching TV. We're told he wasn't hit. Officers say they don't know who pulled the trigger. Now we're told that the shooter disappeared after he ran behind the house to McCullough Drive. Investigators are now asking the public for help.
Just call us with any information they have. We're stepping up patrols and visibility in all these neighborhoods, but just any information that they have, we'd appreciate.
Now, this is not the only shooting that Lexington police have been investigating in the past 12 hours. Just after 10, 3 people, including a child, were injured in a drive-by on Breathitt Avenue. WKYT's Victor Puente continues our team coverage live this morning from police headquarters. What is the latest information you've gathered, Victor?
Good morning, Mark. Over the last few hours, we've learned more about the victims in this case, including how that child may have been injured. Lexington police tell us a man, woman, and child were sitting on their front porch on Breathitt Avenue when a dark-colored SUV drove by and someone fired several shots from it. They say the woman was struck in the foot and the man and child had minor injuries to their legs. They tell us it's possible shrapnel from those bullets is what injured the child. All 3 were taken to the University of Kentucky Hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. That SUV headed in the direction of Price Road following the shooting. Lexington police haven't made any arrests and haven't released a description of the suspects, but say there were several people in that SUV. The shooting happened around 10 last night. It's the same neighborhood where 2 shootings happened on Sunday night. Lexington police tell us they don't have any reason to believe last night's shooting are connected to those shootings, but they have increased patrols in the area. Live in Lexington, Victor Puente, WKYT.
All right, thanks so much, Victor and Mark. This recent wave of violence started on Sunday with 3 separate shootings, and relatives tell us that 2 family members died in 2 of those crimes. At about 6 Sunday night, someone fired shots into a car on Whitney Avenue. The shots killed Montez Graves and critically injured his brother. Just a couple of hours later, another shooting killed Ronnie Graves on nearby Charles Avenue. Family members say he's Montez Graves' uncle. Now, people living in that area say they're watching out for each other.
I know most of the people on the street, they know us, and there are people that, you know, if we leave, they watch our house and everything, so I'm not really scared.
Another shooting early Sunday morning injured 2 men outside Diamond Strip Club. Lexington police arrested Jermaine Anderson in connection to the shooting on Whitney Avenue. He's charged with evidence tampering and also fleeing and evading. Police are still looking for suspects in these shootings. Witnesses described a frightening sight. One person died after a fiery semi-truck crash on the Clays Ferry Bridge. The crash happened at about 6:30 yesterday morning. Investigators say the driver of the semi lost control and hit a barrier, and that's when that truck just burst into flames. You can see that long line of fire there. One witness says he tried to help but couldn't get close enough.
I wanted to get out and help, but no, it was a huge flame, so I couldn't do it. I wish I could unsee it, honestly, but I can't. Just really bad.
The driver was found underneath the bridge. The coroner says the driver was a 52-year-old man from Miami. He has not released his name yet. Firefighters say they also had to clean up about 100 gallons of diesel fuel that spilled into the water. Police in Breathitt County arrested 3 people. They say kidnapped a woman and assaulted her. Jackson police say it started when the victim met her ex-boyfriend David Haddix along with William Gardner and Sharon Campbell at a park. Shortly after, police say the suspects tied up the woman, threatened her, and held her against her will for hours. The victim later managed to get away. Haddix talked to us from jail yesterday and admitted he had hit the victim in the past.
I have put my hands on the girl. Not like totally straight up, you beat her down. But, just more or less make her stop and listen, but not during that situation.
Police say they found bullet holes in the victim's car and a sawed-off shotgun. The victim had some bruises and other minor injuries. After he was arrested, police say Haddix admitted to robbing a gas station. In your national news this morning, we learned overnight that the prosecutor in the Charles Manson trials has died at the age of 80 years old. Vincent Bugliosi's family confirms he died over the weekend. He prosecuted Charles Manson for several murders in the late 60s. Later, Bugliosi became a legend for his best-selling novel Helter Skelter, written about the murders. He also wrote books on the JFK assassination and George W. Bush. The search for 2 convicted killers continues at checkpoints around a maximum security prison in New York. There's still no sign of the men, and authorities are trying to figure out if they had help escaping. Hannah Daniels has the latest from Dannemora, New York.
The manhunt for David Sweat and Richard Matt has now entered a 4th day. Law enforcement officials have fanned out across the state and elsewhere, following hundreds of leads. CBS News has learned investigators are questioning a woman who worked at the Clinton Correctional Facility in connection to the daring escape.
Disgusted. I can't believe it.
Stephen Tarsia's brother, Sheriff's Deputy Kevin Tarsia, was murdered back in 2002. Sweat was serving life without parole for the crime.
I can't believe anybody would help them get out, knowing what they done.
Matt was sentenced to 25 years to life for killing and dismembering his former boss in 1997. The convicted killers used power tools to cut through walls and metal pipes before exiting through a manhole 3 blocks away from the prison.
Our forensics investigation unit has recovered some limited cutting tools. We presume that perhaps more sophisticated tools may have been used, but we did not recover sophisticated cutting tools.
Investigators say the 170-year-old prison and surrounding area had little, if any, electronic surveillance. So far, officials say there are no signs as to where the 2 escaped prisoners may be. Hannah Daniels for CBS News, Dannemora, New York.
Security at schools near the prison also been increased. According to an Associated Press report, a report in 2014 by the Correctional Association of New York revealed a pattern of brutality and racism at the prison. A bizarre crash we are tracking out of Ohio this morning. Crews spent hours trying to wrangle piglets after a truck carrying them crashed. Crews say the semi was carrying 2,200 piglets when it tipped over. Sadly, hundreds died in the accident, but police did manage to save some of the pigs once they caught them. Onlookers say they saw the little pigs running around when the crash happened.
I just saw pigs running all over the road, so I stopped.
It's too bad. I don't know what happened, whether it was slippery.
Crews told the media they were calling in family and friends to help round up those piglets. The ones who survived were sent to a local fairground. Investigators think yesterday's storms played a role in an accident in Bath County. This happened on US 60 in Salt Lick yesterday morning. These are some photos from the scene. Police say the driver lost control on a slick road and hit a utility pole. Even though the wreck looks really bad, authorities say the driver walked away with just a few minor injuries. So that's good to report. It's time to check live drive traffic. Let's see what's happening out on the roads this morning. Not a whole lot of those type of incidents. Hopefully, the road's a little bit slick because we've gotten a little bit of drizzle rain. Winchester Road looking pretty good from the Waze map. And we want to let you know that that's what's going on. Looking pretty good. Not too much to report, which is always good news. Well, thanks for being here. There's still a whole lot more to come this morning. Hope your Tuesday's off to a fabulous start. Apple not unveiling big shiny new toys at its Worldwide Developers Conference, but rather some new software. We'll tell you what they're updating in 5 minutes.
And we'll get into this weather too, because it actually feels quite nice. Very calm conditions the next few days. That allows those temperatures to ramp up very rapidly. Show you how high we go with those coming up.